Let's get this show started.
You ready?
Go.
All right. Like Sam said, I'm Frank Werth. I'm an account consultant for Crawford Outdoors. I've been doing this now for 11 years. I've been the account consultant for Kansas and Oklahoma for the last 7 years. And recently, Jim Coker, this is his first week. He's just now starting, so we're breaking him in really good. So we like to definitely, like I said, welcome him. And then these guys are both part of my team. We're one big team here, Traeger team. Brent Colley's been with Traegers. Gosh, you've been cooking on them for 15 plus years. I know I've been cooking them on for 13. So I don't claim to be a chef. I don't claim to be a barbecue competitor, but I love my Traeger grill. And these are going to be some neat tips and recipes of some stuff that I've learned on the Traegers. Everybody I know wants to figure out, how do you make salmon? You know, how do you make that perfect salmon? I know there's a lot of people that don't like salmon. So how many people don't like salmon in here? You guys can leave if you want to. No, I'm joking. We're going to get you liking salmon tonight, so if you promise me you'll be honest because you paid to be here, try it. It's really good. Some of the stuff that you're having right now is actually smoked pretzels done on a Traeger grill, smoked cheese done on a Traeger grill. I'll tell you really fast how we did that. What we did, basically, it's called an amazing smoke tube. So actually our Traeger wasn't even running. This is an amazing invention. I wish I would have thought of this. I was a little skeptic about it till I bought one myself. But what you do is you put any of your Traeger pellets in there. You manually light them with a torch. You want to get about 1 inch of them burning down. And then you know you can blow out the flame. Set it to the opposite side of the stack from the grill, so that way it just doesn't release all the smoke out of the stack, because your stack is like a vacuum. It will suck it right out of there. So the cheese was smoked for an hour. That's it, cherry wood. Highly recommend the fruit woods, then your mesquites and your hickory, because those tend to have a little bit more of a bitter taste that it's not very pleasant. So the fruit woods is the way to go with this. If you're a traditional pit smoker, where you have a stick smoker, and you want that more aggressive smoke flavor, by all means, light this thing, put it in your Traeger, turn your Traeger on smoke. If you want that real harsh smoke, you can do it. So this is just a really neat tip. I've cold smoked, the Bloody Mary mix is already smoked, and you guys will get to try that. That's been smoked on a Traeger grill. We teamed up with Tito's Vodka. So they smoke it on our big Comp 200s, and they bottle it. This is really neat. It's new for the holiday season. Samuel will get you some of those samples, and also, once you try it, we'll talk, but this is one of the greatest wing marinades you will ever try, I promise you. Just marinate your wings overnight for about 12 hours. Smoke them on your Traeger till they're done. If you don't like them, bring in, I'll give your money back on a bottle because it's good. Okay, any questions on this so far? Okay, so there's no Q&A to tonight. So you can't talk, you can't ask any questions. No, we don't have a Q&A section. If you ever have a question at any time, please feel free, raise your hand. I won't turn down a question, okay? So if it has to do with a Traeger grill, if it has to do with what we're doing tonight, we'll go with that. We bake pies on the Traeger. That's one of the things about the pellet systems that people don't understand, is they're a wood fire convection oven that you can smoke, bake, or grill with, okay? So are these pies going to taste smoky? Absolutely not. The grill wasn't on smoke. It was on 350. They were rock hard frozen. Just a store-bought pie, but I promise you, you're going to love it. But just put your grill on 350 for about an hour, perfection. The grills, you'll have all these little, don't change the way you do your oven cooking to a Traeger. So when you're doing your oven baking. So with that being said, moving on to the class. If you all learn one thing from me tonight, I hope it's that you quit cooking by time and you start cooking by temperature. Because no meat is the same size that you buy. And most of the time, if you throw a couple steaks, they're a different thickness, they're a different size. Salmon has a thin end, a thick end. I'm going to show you how to make sure you perfectly craft your way of cooking from here on out. Okay? So the little handouts that you have, all these recipes that I'm talking about, is on those pages. And there's a blank space below there. If you want to take your own personal notes, feel free. You know, if there's some other questions that you have about salmon, just ask. I'll gladly teach you. Okay. So, for you people that don't like salmon, it's a big salmon, right? That's okay. I'm just picking on you. I won't pick too long, I promise. Okay. I would highly recommend that you never buy frozen salmon. There is nothing you can do to a frozen piece of salmon that's going to make you not taste fish. Hands down. So definitely buying fresh. Cook temperatures on a salmon. If you take salmon over 155 degrees internally, you're done. It's over. It's dry. It kind of gets that little musty smell, and that's probably why most people don't like salmon or fish, because there's a little bit of a musty smell to it if it's overcooked, right? Okay? All right, so salmon. Thick fillet, usually when you buy them fresh, you're going to have what we call this belly meat. It don't taste very good. So one of the things you want to do is you can actually feel where the belly and the flesh stop and start. So you're going to trim that off. A lot of people say, man, you're wasting a lot. This is the stuff I do not want to serve to my family and friends. This stuff, I don't care what you do, it's not going to taste good. It's just not. If you don't want to waste it, if you have a meat processor or a grinder, it's a great way to make salmon patties. That's the stuff that they do that with, okay? So a little bit of a pointer, discard that. I don't like it. When you get down towards the end of the tail, you see that white vein? Can you guys see? I'm going to put it up to the actual camera there. See if you see that white vein? That's the no-no vein. Don't. If you see white on any fish, remove it. It's the fat line, and it's the stuff that they're eating that you don't want to eat. If you want to grind it up, that's fine. It's the salmon patty because you're putting breading and stuff. So now we got this beautiful cut of flesh. And if I hold it up here, you can see it's the same thickness all the way through, right? Just a little bit of work. Now I can guarantee when I cook it on my Traeger grill, it's going to be the same temperature here as here and here. Have I lost anybody yet? No questions?
It's a bad idea.
You guys know this, don't you?
It's a bad idea to eat fresh salmon and then all of a sudden eat salmon that doesn't taste good and tell your wife, is this frozen?
Don't do that. Yes, you can. Get to know, I'll tell anybody, you know, especially if you're into grilling. Sorry, I was being summoned. When you are into grilling, get to know where you buy your meat. Dillon's has got some phenomenal fresh fish. They bring it in daily. Costco, this is where that salmon came from. I prefer skin on. Just, I like the way the salmon cooks. There's a little bit of an insulation barrier, but I'm going to show you something. This is skinless, okay? I'm going to show you how you get that same thing to happen, okay? So we're going to start with that real quick. Traeger came out with its butcher's paper. It's no big secret. It's pink butcher's paper. This has changed the way that I cook. If you go to the Bobby Flays of the world, the Diva Q's, the Chad Wards, wonderful chefs, wonderful cooks, and barbecue competitors in their own right, this is their trick. This is what they wrap their meat with. This is what they cook on. It breathes, it forms insulation, but yet it does not steam. You will not lose your seasoning, and you will not use bark if you cook on butcher's paper. So, I'm going to go ahead and show you that real quick and how I do that. Have I lost anybody yet? We all following? You guys are awesome.
Can you put it right on the grill?
Right on the grill, I hope you do. Yeah. On your salmon, here's a good point. There's something called the cedar plank. That is phenomenal for a traditional grill, a gas grill, a charcoal grill, something that you're going to get some direct flame to heat it up. On a convection wood pellet system, it's not serving a purpose. I'll be honest with you. You're not going to, because we cook with air instead of direct flame onto that surface, it would take a long time to heat that thing up. So, and you're not going to get that aroma, but you don't need it because you're already cooking with wood, right? So that's one of the things that you're going to see a lot of your barbecue pit masters are doing. They're doing more of this stuff, and the pellet world is really taking the world by storm. I mean, you can make an amateur like me, not a pro, but I can definitely make people like what I do. You know, my family loves it, and my family likes it. They're my biggest critics, you know. So anyway, on the salmon that you're having tonight, I'm going to show you how we prep this, okay? Salmon's right on the butcher's paper, all right? Any oil you can use, but I do prefer the olive oil. It doesn't have a taste to it. And go with the lightest olive oil that you can. I mean, if you go with the extra virgin or the darker, you're going to get that flavor in your meat and your fish. If you like it, great, but I don't suggest what you're having tonight is just light olive oil, okay? And Traeger seasoning, I wish they would rename it, and a lot of us do, because it scares people because they call it big game rub. So they think if I'm not doing duck or, you know, venison, I probably shouldn't try that seasoning. It should be called gourmet seasoning. So this is the seasoning we're using, and one of the things I want to talk about seasoning, most people really mess up when they're seasoning because, do you ever do this? You do that? You go to a spot? Okay, I'm going to teach you something. You'll have even coverage, as high as you can get it, shake away. Now I guarantee that every piece of that meat is completely distributed right. That's a little bit of a chef trick. I'm not a chef, but it's just a little trick I learned.
Salt Bay? Yes, please.
Do what?
Salt Bay.
The Salt Bay?
You don't. The viral video.
I have not. I'm too old. Is 36 old? I got issues. We're going to talk after this, Samuel. So anyway, you want to make sure that that is even covered. And I'm going to hold this up to this camera because I do want you guys to see. There's a lot of seasoning on here, okay? But a lot of Traeger seasonings are not really a salt base. They're more of a sugar base, okay? They are also gluten-free and MSG-free. So I'm going to hold it right up there. You guys see how I mean, you don't really see the flesh a lot, do you? Okay? So my next trick is butter and lemon. Okay? This is the recipe. Yes?
My dad's a little hard of hearing, so if you could, like,
Speak up.
take it 5 decibels up.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. If you can't hear me, somebody please yell. I'll try. I'll get it. Okay. So that is the preparation. You guys see that? The butter under the lemon. The only thing you're not going to see here is there's one more step. When the salmon is 125 degrees internally. Let me wipe my hands off real quick here. That is when the honey goes on it. So we're actually going to drizzle honey across the top, okay? So your cooking process is do not ever cook salmon over 225 degrees on your grill dial. If you take salmon up over 225, this little white, pussy, nasty stuff comes up. You're forcing that meat to release stuff you just don't want to eat. So 225, nothing higher. Okay, so tonight we did the salmon on 225, and when it was 125, we drizzled it with honey, and then we washed until it came to 155. Traeger Grills does have probes on their grills, and I'm going to be an honest person for you.
Is that
What?
is that regular honey or
Regular honey. Regular honey. Yeah, use whatever you want, but definitely a honey is a good recipe for it. The probes on a Traeger grill or any grill, they're a real fat probe. I don't recommend you using those for when you're doing your delicates like salmon and thin steaks because they're more for your bigger meats like your brisket, your pork butts. I highly recommend that you get a quick check thermometer. Traeger does have one, okay? And Samuel and Charley, those guys do carry this here. This will give you a temperature in about 5 seconds. So when you lift that lid, bam, it's pretty quick. You're not going to lose a whole lot of heat to check that with these things. So like I said, if you have any kind of a meat thermometer at home, have that, because the temperature is crucial. Because like I said, if it's over 155, you've ruined your salmon. Okay? All right. Do you have raffle tickets? Have you given everybody raffle tickets?
Tell them what we're doing with them?
We're going to do that right now. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so here's the deal. There's going to be there's going to be 4 lucky couples here tonight. Or if you're single, invite a friend. Okay? So we're going to actually raffle off this salmon. Okay? I'm going to cut the salmon in half, so 2 couples are going to get a half a salmon. Okay? So you can go home and you can cook dinner for one another. And how's that sound? Is that good? The best part, after this raffle is over, we're going to start sampling. Is everybody ready to eat it? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Sam, they're looking hungry, so we got to do this right.
Yeah, they're bringing your first one in right there.
I'll let you.
I'll do one. So we're just doing 2 right now, or you want?
We're going to do both. Do both. That's fine.
Both the same. Okay.
Do both. Yep.
All right, here we go. Everyone have their ticket. I smack them on your table.
Okay. Hold on 1 second.
All
Okay.
right. The lucky number 1.
Well,
is
here, just take that. Put that right
500.
there. Okay, bro.
5. I'm kidding. It's 8. 93. 93. 893. Tony Yajin, everyone. Awesome.
Got another one to go?
We got one more. All right, here we go. 500, like everyone. 912. Grandpa, is it?
We got it?
You get a half a salmon.
You get a half a salmon. Okay.
Stan, don't eat it yet. It's not cooked, so just.
Yep. So now here's the process. If you won the salmon, okay? Yeah, don't put those tickets back in there, right? I will cut and prepare this. That when you leave tonight, you come up and you ask, and I will have it all wrapped up. It'll be cold for you to take, okay? So we won't cook it for you, but you can go home and test your.
There will be 2 more raffles for.
Hold on to those tickets.
Hold on, tickets. There's a couple more.
We're not going to tell you what they are yet, though. Okay? All right. So here is our salmon that is done. I'm going to bring it up there, huh? Plates. Actually, if we can get 2 people, a plate here, okay? A stack, and then I'm going to start putting them on, and you just hand them out.
Okay, sounds good.
So we can get Charlie and Dennis. Okay, I'm going to hold this up here real fast. I want you guys to see what that looks like. How's that look? Does that look okay? All right. No white stuff on there, right? But there is this beautiful butter on it. Yes, sir.
Don't have the head on it.
It don't have the head on it.
Last time we ate salmon over in Sweden, it had the head on it.
How was it?
It was good, except I couldn't hardly eat it. I had to
It was intimidating.
because we were the company. We had to cut it first, and I didn't know how to cut salmon.
Oh.
There's 2 big salmons on this plate, and I'm going,
Staring at you.
Oh boy. See what's nice? Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this, but here's what makes this butcher paper nice. See my hand going underneath here? Just nice and perfect. Pulls right away from there. It's kind of a nice deal. Here's the best part. Look how beautiful. It's not dry. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do samples, okay? And there's going to be some extras. So during the break, if you want more than just what your sample, come back up here. We'll put more on the plate.
Great.
Okay? So if you go home hungry tonight, Samuel's in trouble. Okay, you guys ready? Let's get them some food here. Okay. Oops. I'll wipe that up.
It's pretty good.
It's wonderful. Perfect temp.
If you don't have silverware,
Has anybody ever heard of the can cooker? Does anybody have a can cooker? New product. Okay. Brent, I'm going to have you dump that out, and I'm going to explain that to him. The can cooker, is anybody, yes ma'am.
Okay, you're not big on time,
Not big on time, yes.
but that was the salmon that you just prepped. He just took it out of there and it's fully done.
No, it's sitting right here, ma'am. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God!
This Traeger grill is amazing.
If I tell you what, if you ever figure that out, sweetie, let me know how you do that. Okay, so what the can cooker is, has anybody ever heard of the old style of cream can cooking?
Yes.
Okay, that's what it is. Tonight's secret ingredient is a can of beer, a stick of butter, and a little bit of Traeger game rub. What is in there is onions, red potatoes, carrots, beef kielbasa. If you want to make some of the greatest shrimp boils of your life in 55 minutes, you can do them on a burner. It takes 55 minutes on medium heat on your stovetop. If you want to do it on your Traeger grill, 350, 1 hour. If you're outside, you're tailgating, I'll stick up with the salmon still. It's an amazing product. Tonight's what we're doing with that. The Can Cooker Companion makes a lot of food. It will do, that little can right there will feed 8 people a meal. If you want them bigger, they do make them in bigger sizes. They retail for $39.95. And tonight, because you guys came to class, have you want any interest in them, we're throwing in the racks for free. They're $13 value tonight. Okay? That was a good ooh. Yeah. And what you can do during the break, you guys come on up here and get yourself something to drink if you like. Come up and if we want to get a spoon, you can put some on a plate, on your plate. Try it. Some of the best corn I've ever had in my life. Throw your corn in there, apple juice, stick of butter or a can of beer. Come back 45 minutes later, I promise your corn is the best.
Did he get some all the way in the back? Yeah, I think we're still working on it.
Okay. Bud Light today. You know, I got to tell you, I don't think it really matters. The only kind of beer I don't think I would put in there is a dark beer. You're not going to taste the beer in these vegetables. It's more about, you can do it with water. A can of Mountain Dew, you won't taste the Mountain Dew. But for some reason with those stout beers, unless you really like it, I don't recommend it. Yeah. If anybody wants more salmon, hold your hand up. That's completely fine. We'll keep going.
It's coming. Oh, it's not yet.
Okay. We've got a lot of salmon. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay. Get some more? There's a young lady right over here, Charlie.
We still have steaks and turkey.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still turning out good. So
That's phenomenal.
Alright, you don't want to fill up on
Okay, you are going to eat a lot of protein tonight, okay? But we don't want this going to waste either, so. Is anybody else more salmon?
I need to try some.
I like the hands up. I'm going to get you some more.
yeah, throw that away. That's
Yep.
all right. I'll go out and get the last one.
There's another one.
Yes.
Hey, Samuel. I think we need to do another raffle. I think we can do another raffle. We have one whole salmon side that we can definitely. Now, this one is for the whole salmon side. This one's for the whole salmon side. It's cooked and it's ready to go.
So we can't divide it. All right.
That butcher paper, what's it working on? Just the pellet grills or?
You know, I've heard it works on everything. A lot of the guys, you know, with your traditional pit grills.
The gas and
Yeah. If you ever watch Barbecue Pit Masters and you watch the guys in Texas and all the South, they're wrapping briskets, pork butts, ribs. This is what they wrap that with. A lot of people have gotten away from the foil because foil has a tendency after you cook the food and you take it off and let it rest, it continually rises like a lot of degrees, not just 4 or 5. It'll rise 10, 15 degrees. And then it'll start making the meat turn a different color, and it'll look pressure cooked, and it will lose its bark.
So what keeps that from burning?
It lets the meat breathe. Oh, the paper? Good question. I don't know that one. I honestly don't know. I do know that there's something different about it than your white butcher's paper, because I asked people, is it the same as white? I talked to the butcher back in Hayes. He says, no, don't use the white. It needs to be the pink butcher paper.
You're not giving that one.
No, not this one. I've got my hands in this one. There you go. Yeah, I'm ready.
This is for the
Steaks and everything.
full-size
Yes, sir.
Salmon, cooked 500 907.
Beautiful.
Hey, Tim and Christina.
Are you excited about it?
Okay. You want to grab a little spoon out of there and put it in there? Okay, this is our break session. So if you want to come up and you want to try a sample of the red beers, if you want to try some of the can cooker here, you want to stir that up with a spoon. If you guys want to come and try some of this, take a little 10-15 minute break and we'll go into turkey after that. Huh? Or if you want to. Oh, during this time, if you guys want to look at the grills, you have any questions on the spices, on your list, there's also a list of every item I'm using here tonight. Okay? You ready?
Thank you.
Yep. Done everything from lobster tails to crab legs to these different types of boils, shrimp, corn on the cob, chili. The smoked cheese that you had tonight, you'll make some of the best queso dip of your life if you do it inside here. Just take that cheese and put it on in there and some Rotel and smoked queso, a little bit of beer. The inside of these grills, all of them are Teflon coated. They're non-stick, okay? So if you spray a little Pam cooking spray, just basically put a little bit of water in there, get it hot, dump it out, wipe it out. You're good to go. It's awesome. So they made this size particularly for Traeger Grills. We were up in Grand Island, Nebraska, and the owner of Can Cooker and the owner of our company got together. And he was throwing a big can cooker on a Traeger, which the lid could barely close because it's the big $100 one. I mean, it's huge. So they got to talking, and they eventually came out with this because everybody that has the tailgaters go out to the lake. Put that grill on 350, go out on the boat for an hour, come back, and you have a perfect boil done. It's just phenomenal. There's a lot of different things I've done with that. So it's a real neat product. It's something new for Samuel and Charley here. I mean, that's basically them. I just thought I'd maybe re-hit. So don't get them over a medium heat because they are aluminum. So on a burner, don't go over medium. On your oven, don't go over medium. You know, if you're on your grill, don't go over 350. Okay? We're good there? Man, quiet crowd. Quiet, quiet, quiet. It's all right. It's all right. Okay. Oh, pretzels. Here's how we did them. Just, you asked, okay? Yep. That big game rub, we took this in olive oil. Brent, quarter cup of olive oil?
Quarter and a half cup.
Okay. And I don't know, probably if it was, you measure the seasoning, probably about a tablespoon and a half.
About a third.
About a third of this jar. Yep. Thank you. You want to teach a class? That's my best punchline for the whole night. So anyway, kind of rolled that around, and then he mixed it in another bag with just your regular old everyday pretzels. Put it in an aluminum pan, 1 hour on there with the smoke tube. The Traeger grill was not on. So if you got a charcoal grill, you can do it on there. If you have a gas grill, you do it on there. You just need a bag of wood. That's it. And remember, they do last 4 hours when they're full. So you can get a lot of use out of one of these. Wish I would have invented that. I really do. Did I answer your question okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay? All right. You all ready for some turkey? Okay. I'm going to show you something new that Traeger does have out because our turkey would not taste like it does or come out like it does without this. This is a seasonal pellet that you will see. It's not going to be year round. We're only going to see it for the holiday season. It's called the Traeger Turkey Blend. Yeah. This is your one-stop pellet shop right here, let me tell you guys. Okay, so there's maple, there's hickory, there's oak, and there's rosemary inside this pellet. That's the blend. Inside of this kit, you're going to get a little bag inside that bag. Actually has the instructions of how you do this, but it comes with the turkey brine, okay, and the seasoning packet that you are going to season that bird with. So it's really cool. But what you do with that brine kit is you want to boil it for 5 minutes on your stovetop, okay? Let it cool. Go ahead. And if you want to do this in a cooler, you can. But brine it for at least 12 hours, but we prefer 24 on the brines to really do it the day ahead of time. Or, if you do it the night before, you're going to turn it on and smoke it. That's okay. But the 24 hours, you'll notice a big difference in that brine, okay? Cool it down. Then you're going to submerge your bird into a cooler or a bucket if you want to. I do a cooler usually. And then I'll fill the rest of the way up with cold water until the bird's completely covered. Okay? If you do it in a cooler, put you some ice in there, close it, see you in a day. Don't worry about it. When that brine process is over, you want to rinse that bird thoroughly. That's one thing that it's the love-hate part of brines and people forget to do. You got to rinse them. There's a lot of big spices. There's fruit rinds. There's orange peel in this. So you want to rinse that stuff off. After it's rinsed, simple process. Olive oil or butter. You can't go wrong. I prefer butter. We did olive oil tonight. Okay? And then seasoning. Throw some seasoning inside the cavity and make sure you got good coverage all over the bird. Have I lost anybody yet? Okay. Good coverage. Good coverage. Do not be shy on your turkey because you got to get through that skin, right? So go aggressive on your turkeys. I will tell you, the more seasoning, the better. You're not going to oversalt the turkey is what I'm going to tell you. Okay? All right. Okay, so cooking process. Again, I'm not going to tell you time because I have no idea what size of bird you're going to do. I don't know if you're going to do an 8 or a 10-pound breast, or if you're going to do a 12-pound full bird or a 22-pounder.
That one's 18 pounds.
This is a big boy. Yep, he's big. She, it's big. It's real big. Process on cooking. Ready? You're going to smoke the bird on whatever temperature you want, 225 or below, until this bird is 140 degrees internally in the breast. Okay, have I lost anybody yet? The reason why I tell you 140 is because no poultry, beef, or pork can take on smoke after it reaches 140 degrees internally. So if somebody tells you got to smoke a turkey for 8, 10, 12 hours, why?
That's what we should say to them.
Why? Why didn't they teach me this when I first got my Traeger? And I was trying to turkey for 16 hours and failed miserably. No, I'm not putting down anybody that believes in that concept. What I'm trying to teach you guys here is, especially on the pellet systems, any meat, when it hits 140, it's sealed. All you're going to do is start turning that thing black after that. And that's the stuff, in my opinion, I don't want. Because that's basically begins with what you're cooking with and not what you put on the bird to cook with. So after that, this is where I put the Frank touch on the bird. Yeah. So I usually do mine uncovered the whole time. This bird was never covered. Never covered. From the second we put it on until it came off. Okay. Secret recipe, you ready? It's on there. Maple syrup. Stick of butter. A whole stick of butter. Okay?
Where do you stick it?
In a little... I'm glad that came from him and not me. I really am. Samuel's right. And when Samuel starts teaching classes, I'm totally coming. I am in. If you got, you're right though. If you got a foil pan, I use this. Put a stick of butter in there. I'll fill it about halfway up with maple syrup, okay? I haven't found yet that, I'm sure true maple syrup is probably better. I just haven't experimented enough. I've only used just the everyday syrup. Whether you're a rum fan or you're a bourbon fan, tonight it's bourbon. Your choice, whatever kind. During that smoking process, this goes on right away with my turkey while smoking because I want this syrup and that butter and that bourbon, I want it to smoke. I want it to be all nice and glorious when I start basting this bird. So after it's 140 degrees, about every 15, 20 minutes, I go out there and I baste the whole bird with it until, if you're doing just the turkey breast, 165, get it off the grill. Do not get your turkey breast over 165 degrees. If you're doing a whole turkey, this is where it kind of gets a little bit complicated, and this is where people will start to dry out the bird because instead of sticking it in the breast, they stick it in the thigh, okay? Because you need that dark meat to come to 170 degrees, all right? As long as you brine a turkey, you're going to have a little bit more forgiveness. The breast area will not dry out, so that's the purpose of brining. So take your bird up to 170 on a full turkey. You want to make sure every aspect of this bird is cooked. You know, that's the challenge. So, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm probably missing something because you made a big deal to say you grill until your turkey's at 140.
Smoke.
Okay.
You smoke it, so 225 or below, any of those smoke settings. When you get a grill over 225 on our Traeger grills, you're no longer a smoker, you're turning it into a convection oven.
Oh, I got it.
Okay?
But then so why are you saying bring it up to 170? You know what I mean?
Okay.
Turn the grill off?
After the bird hits 140, I'm sorry if I didn't explain that good. What we will do, no, we leave the bird on the grill. You can turn it up to 275 if you want to. I don't ever get them above that.
I got it.
Because I want to now bring that temperature up. Your bird's going to kind of go through a little bit.
Smoke thing to 140, and then you turn your temperature up, and it changes.
And I'm
the way it's
basting.
cooking, and you're basting it until you get up to the higher degrees. I got it.
You got it. You're on. She is for hire for teaching classes as well, Samuel. Do you know her?
She's my aunt. So.
I know. We met. Yep. Okay. So where was I at? Now I'm lost. Okay. So anyway, this is the end process of it. Here you go. Here's the time. 165 degrees. About 4 or 5 hours, but trust me, you want to check your temps. Yes. What?
So how long is that? Like should we set the timer for? I'm just kidding.
So how hot should it get? How hot should it get if it's
Killing me, Smalls.
how hot should we get if it's 23 pounds?
Same temp. Same temp. Same temp. Same temp. Can I come back to El Dorado after this? Is it good? Do we have the turkey coming in? No. I'm not coming back. No, I'm joking. I'm totally coming back. This is fun.
Is the brine and the rub available other than the pellet?
The brine is not. I wish it was. I don't know why it isn't. I'm sure it's because they want to sell a pellet with it. But no. The spice that is in it is basically that game rub. Okay? So I just broke a little secret there. So this stuff, I'm telling you, a lot of your barbecue chefs, a lot of your barbecue pit masters, this is a lot of their base rub at competitions. They just kind of add a few little things. If they want a little bit of pepper, they want a little bit of garlic, or they're known for paprika, whatever. But it's a base rub for anything. Some of the best asparagus I've ever had in my life is this, an olive oil on asparagus put on my grill. Phenomenal. It's a good all-around seasoning. It really is. Okay, we're going to serve up some turkey because it's kind of like Vanna White. Da-da-da, ba-da-ba, we're good. You guys catch that? Dry humor. Anyway, okay, tough crowd. You guys ready to sample this stuff? Is there any questions? This is the fastest part of the whole class, just because the fact yes, sir.
You just talked about using the pellets. How do you do it on a barbecue, like a charcoal grill or gas grill? You use that little tube there, is that what you?
For smoking it only to get the smoke flavor. Yeah, you could put those in there, absolutely. You would just definitely want to make sure you did that brine process that's in that bag, you know.
Yeah,
Just on the turkey, yeah.
you can't use pellets on a regular charcoal grill.
With one of those you can.
Those you can.
Yeah.
Or one of these?
Yes, with one of the smoke tubes, you can manually light that. Now, and here's a good question. That's a good question. I've noticed we have a lot of charcoal fans that come in and they're buying bags of wood, and I keep asking, what are you guys doing? Because I'm trying to figure it out. Most of the time they come in and they're doing fruit wood like cherry, apple, the maples. They said, well, we throw them on there and it gives it that kiss of that smoke flavor that we want. We like that cherry smoke because they don't make cherry charcoal. They don't make apple charcoal, So instead of doing the little chips that they soak, they take and they throw a couple handfuls of these on top of those ambers. And it will give you that, it'll give you that flavor. No ifs or buts about it.
It'd be a good idea to have one of those tubes.
It would be a very good idea. It was probably one of the most popular stocking stuffers we used last year at our house, just because everybody loves to do different things and experiment, and it's so simple to do. Yeah, my wife and I, we do Juicy Lucy, so we'll smoke a bunch of pepper jack and cheddar. We'll grate it up, take your 2 burger patties, make them really thin, put that smoked cheese like you had tonight in between them when it starts oozing out the middle. It's one of the best burgers I've ever had. So that's not in your recipe book, that's another class. Okay. Now you guys are ready to try turkey. It's beautiful. You ready?
Yeah.
And again, there's going to be more, so just,
I'll shred it over here and throw it to you.
that'll be great. Beautiful.
Try to get the juice in there.
Yeah,
Nice and under.
there we go. Maybe that'd be a good idea to hand them to Charlie like that. Jim, you're on it. I'm proud of you.
He's been doing good. I have to talk about him going to Scotty.
I think so. I think. Do we really want to do that to Jim yet?
I don't know. We'll find out how long it lasts.
We're trying not to make you scared.
It's either going to make him or break him or kill him. These are all good to go too, Frank.
Okay.
This is all you got, too. So.
Okay. Well, I can carve more. Well, do we want to auction off the turkey?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Samuel.
Well,
Can you get Samuel?
well,
Yeah.
you want to wait and see?
Say how much we need.
Yeah. Let's just wait
I want
and see.
everybody.
Yes, Frank.
Because that bird's going to be
You
cold.
want to come back up here a second?
That bird's going to be cold. It needs to be reheated.
It's a smoked bird. You want to auction off the cooked bird if we don't need it? It's a good cold smoked bird, or you want to use it for people slice that for sandwiches.
To the back.
It's a perfectly smoked, ready to go.
Do we have customers back there, or why do they keep going to the back room?
How's the turkey? Good? Good? Is that all right? Good. No. Ugh. Ugh. If anybody wants some more, raise your hand. We'll get some more to you, okay?
Oh, it's so good.
Okay, now during this intermission, we're going to have some guys up here. If you guys want to try some cherry pie and some apple pie.
I'll give that away before we go to break.
Okay, and we're going to do one more raffle.
Well, we have.
Okay? Well, 3 more raffles, but we're going to do another one. Thank you, Samuel. We added one.
A cooked bird.
What?
Right here. So this will be good. So you should only have to reheat it, but it's all cooked and done. And
Going to make you some nice sliced turkey sandwiches, and it's a Traeger brine smoked turkey.
Can get out of cooking a turkey. You'd probably hold off till Thanksgiving.
Start eating now. I mean, turkey for 8 days straight.
All right, here we go. 500 891. Molly J. Woo!
Hey!
Now, Tyler.
Has everybody got some turkey? Does anybody want some more? You need some, sir? I'm so sorry. Let's keep going. I'm sorry. I'm trying. Oh, yeah. I know. Rub a little bit on you. You rub the lotion. It rubs the lotion on the skin. Any questions so far? Does everybody got some turkey now? Does anybody want a little more?
We got a lot more.
You'll take some more?
Are we going into break right after this?
We're going into break right after this. So after you're done with turkey, if you want to come up, we can get you some pie.
You can get your pie or more turkey.
A couple more.
Take a little break to get ready for the KC strips.
Traeger on, okay. He brought up a good, I'm going to go do this real quick.
Go right ahead.
Okay, you guys go ahead. Before I release you, one more thing. Has everybody got an iPhone, an Android? I'm not going to give you my phone number, and I'm not going to ask for yours, I promise. But there is an app. I just got to ask, does Traeger have other turkey recipes, brine recipes? There's an app. It's free. Okay, Traeger app. You can download that on your phone. It will have Traeger's Facebook, Twitter, fan page. But it houses 3,000 recipes that you can select at your phone at any time. Download it. So if you want to try a meatloaf, you want to try Frank's banana splits that are smoked on the grill, you can try that too. You can, a bunch of different things. So definitely download that Traeger app. It's a great guide. Promise. And on the Traeger website. Yeah, but this is kind of handy. Okay, if everybody would like to find a seat, we'll get started on the last part of the class. Got quiet. Okay, this is my favorite part of the class. Is there any questions thus far? Does anybody have any questions before I go on to my favorite part? No questions. So we've done a good job so far. Everybody satisfied? Do what? Thank you. Do what? You need another pamphlet? We will get you another pamphlet. No problem. Does everybody got a pamphlet? Make sure. Yes. Okay. All right. So has anybody ever heard the term reverse sear method? No. It is the greatest way to cook a steak. It's usually hard to say great.
Would you repeat that for my wife?
He can't hear, that's his problem.
It's the greatest way to cook a steak. Reverse sear method. Can you hear? Okay. If I talk of it this way, can you guys still hear? Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So tonight you're going to have KC strips. Okay? Once again, I'm going to tell you how to cook this. I'm not going to tell you times. This is I hope you guys, like I said, if there's one thing you learned from me tonight, is that you're going to leave here, you're going to cook by temperature and not by time. Okay? All right. So, KC strips. Never frozen, fresh. It's the way to go, right? Okay. I'm going to take this. I think this one's just as pretty as that one. Okay, you guys see that? That's pretty. When it's raw and it looks good, you know you're into something good, right? Okay, so one of the things that you want to look at when you are shopping for steak, it really doesn't matter if it's a ribeye, a strip, a flat iron, or a fillet. You want to see this. Forget about this. This does not matter, okay? A lot of people say you need that. It does not matter. What I want to see is this. See those little marbles? Get to know your beef. That's a big deal. What we did is these were actually whole loins, and we cut them. These are 1 1/4 steaks. Gorgeous. Reverse sear method is simply this. You smoke your meat, or you do not get your temperature over 225 until your steak temperature comes to an internal temperature of 110. So nothing above 225. until the meat is 110 degrees. Okay? We got that? What we do after that, we take the meat off. And we actually have that meat off for probably a good hour. You don't have to take that long. You can go 2 hours if you want to. 20 minutes is fine. But what you do after that is you want to make sure you get your grill up to 400 degrees. Nothing below. It's got to be 400 degrees. Okay? So, tonight we did them on the Traeger Timberline. The Timberline gets to 500 degrees. So the steaks you're going to see tonight are done at 500 degrees on the Sear method. Okay? Again, you're going to ask me how long after it's 110 do I grill it? It's kind of up to you. I'm going to give you some temperatures real quick. We do a safe method. We take our steaks to 140 because some people don't like medium rare. Tonight we just kind of picked the perfect medium if that's the kind of steak you're going to get. So 140 degrees is medium on a steak. Okay? If you go to 130, you're at medium rare. While you're resting these, they're going to come up a little bit. Okay? Anything below 130, it's rare. Anything above 145, you killed it. It's done. Promise. He laughed. He knows. You giggled. See, he's still giggling. So anyway, we use 2 of the Traeger rubs. These are 2 of Traeger's newest rubs. We're really excited about them. And I didn't know I was a huge coffee fan, but on one side of these steaks, we use the new Traeger coffee rub. On the other side, we use the Traeger prime rib rub. Okay? Again, these are gluten-free, MSG-free. Okay? Wonderful spices. I'm going to show you how we do that. So remember what I taught you earlier about the, you got it, girl. She's on, Samuel, your aunt's going to teach you how to season a steak. When you leave here, you're going to know. See how pretty? There you go. Guys doing okay? Sure? Okay, go again. You still doing okay? I'm not losing you yet, am I? It's kind of cool. You can watch that, huh? Okay. Flip. Flip. Prime rib rub. This is fun. It's the hardest part of my job right here. We got a live crowd tonight. We really do. So anyway, okay. See how thick that's on there? You know why I did it that thick? It's because we used a rub. We didn't use a seasoning. Seasoning salt. Rub is sugar-based. It should be. Okay? So normally when you use a rub, when you sear, sear is seasoning. Sear is not charcoal. Sear is not wood pellets. Sear is not wood. That's bad. That's bad sear. That's dirty sear. Sear is what happens to sugar on a piece of meat when it's at 400 degrees or hotter. That's where you're going to get those beautiful, tasty black sear marks, not char. Okay? So, you saw that product, right? And the big thing that we hear a lot is, can you sear on a pellet grill? Absolutely. How's that look? Not bad, right? You guys want to try this? Yeah. You got to wait. I'm not done yet. You can't. Okay, so you see what we did with that butcher paper? This is something really special. I'm going to push this really hard. I was always either over resting my steaks, because you always hear, rest your steaks for at least 15, 20 minutes before you cut into them. They're going to hold their juice and stuff. I was doing it with foil. So you do that, and the way you like your steak when it comes off the grill, when you eat it, it's not the same way. It's probably about 10, 12 degrees hotter than what you took it off at. And then meat has, especially beef, it turns gray. It doesn't look as pretty. Restaurant business, butcher paper, barbecue competitors, they tin it and they let it rest with butcher paper because it lets that meat breathe. Okay, and it's only going to come up 5 degrees with butcher paper. That's the trick on steaks with butcher paper. I don't cook on it, but I let it rest with it. And I promise you, if you do that with a pork chop, thick pork chops, same thing. Do a tent, chicken breast. Let them rest, let them juice. Give them 10, 15 minutes. It'll knock your socks off in the family that you're feeding. It changes the way you cook, okay? Samuel? So before we cut into these steaks, do we have any questions real quick? Really want you guys to understand these temperatures. So, yes, ma'am.
So you say take it off at 140 if you want it to be medium.
The way you're going to have them tonight is 140 degrees, so that's a medium steak.
So you took it off at 140 and then you
Let it tent and rest. You know, I mean, you can go up to 20, 30 minutes. Your steaks are still going to be nice and hot. Most of us go that 15 to 20. I'll let them just kind of sit there and rest. But normally when you get them off there, you're kind of getting all your table ready to go, and it's the perfect time to do that. But the big thing is, remember, on your Traeger grill, do not get it over 225 during the reverse sear method. And when your steaks are 110 degrees internal, pull it. Let it rest. Some guys do it the day before, and they just let them rest in the refrigerator till the next day, and they go out and they sear them off. Turn your grill to at least on high. If you have a timberline, turn it to 500 degrees. Okay? That's how those work. That's how you're going to get the sear. And then, like I said, the old meat probe, you're not going to get it right unless you have a meat probe, I promise, because every steak that you cut is going to be different. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
So when you put it back on the grill,
Uh-huh.
you let it smoke on one side
Yes, the whole time.
the whole time.
Mhm.
And then you take it off, so you put it back on that same side, or you flip it?
You're gonna sear it, so you'll do both sides. So yeah, you can on a pellet grill. It's not going to make it cook any faster if you sear it on both sides. I'll answer that question. It's going to help the beautiful look. You know, you're going to see that on both. Like I said, when you're depending on the temperature you're going to take it to, whether it's a medium rare, medium well, you got to. It's a little bit of trial and error. But if you have one of these probes, a meat probe, it's going to help you. Okay, I'll promise you. I'm not a pro, but this stuff makes me a pro. I mean, like a pro. So, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Do you tend to, like, if you want it at 140 after it rests for 20 minutes, do you tend to take it off at 135?
Yeah. Always, when you're tenting with butcher paper, it's 10 degrees. If you wrap it in foil, God knows it could be 15 degrees, 12 degrees, 18 degrees. That stuff's still going to steam. And then you're going to lose your sear marks because of the foil, because now that meat's just juicing. And all that seasoning, all that caramelization that you had on the meat is just kind of melting away, and you just get all this juice. Does that make sense? Okay, so, yes, sir.
On the smoking part thing, did you have it on paper?
No, just right on the grate. The only part of the paper with this process is the resting. So, we'll go to another class eventually. It's called a backyard barbecue class, where I show you how to cook with the paper and your meat on the grill. That's another class. I've got to get you to come back. Okay, so there's going to be 2 lucky couples tonight. So lucky couple number 1 is taking home these steaks right here for a nice little date night.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea, right? Samuel, I don't want you to get any more trouble than you already are.
I know, right?
So I think you have one of these guys draw for you, because I'd rather them chase them. They know where you live, man. They know where you live. I'm going to season these other 2 steaks and pack them up for the next couple as well.
Do it so you guys don't kill me, I guess. 500911.
Yes.
Chase luck, everybody! Woo! Congratulations.
Jace, tonight before you leave, you come and you get a hold of me, and it'll be in the refrigerator, okay? All right. Okay, next.
2 more?
2 more?
Or sorry, 1 more?
1 more.
We're going to do another one? The other 2 right there?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. 1 more lucky couple. I'll prep this one just like this and wrap it up for you, okay? All right.
500919. Roll again. Going once, going twice. All right. is fun. 500-899.
I told you not to draw that ticket.
Can I get it
Okay.
I'm so happy for you.
All right. Are you guys all ready to try this stuff? Okay. I've been saving this sharp knife all night for just steak. Okay. All right. This is the emotional part. Let's see what happened. How's that look? It look okay? Looks good enough to eat. You guys can all thank Brent Colley and Jim Coker tonight for your wonderful temperatures on your meat. I do not dare call these guys my assistants. They are definitely my colleagues, and I'm very proud to have them aboard. Jim, if you just want to hand me some steaks, bro.
Okay.
You guys are awesome. Is that one serving?
Thought I was gonna lose a finger there.
Do you want to spread that? Or is that
Yeah, if you wanna bring some more plates over.
You okay?
Oh,
Yeah, these gloves and the plate don't mix.
Okay.
There's a couple. There we go. Thank you.
These are more of the rare side.
Do what?
These are more rare. These are the good ones, my opinion. Give me more of the thin if you don't mind. Just to
Come
start.
closer to you. Is more
Closer to me.
tell them all the rubs and everything on this?
Yes, yes. Go ahead if you want to. Samuel asked me, he didn't hear what the rubs were, so just in case you guys didn't hear, it is on your recipe sheet. Traeger's coffee rub, it's brand new. It's here tonight. Okay? So it hasn't been in store till tonight here. Prime rib rub. Yes, sir.
Is that decaf or is that, what is it?
I'm guessing not decaf.
fully loaded.
Fully loaded. I have been told, though, and I do want to see this on TraegerGrills.com, but I was told that the coffee is smoked on a Traeger grill before it's grinded into the seasoning.
Oh yeah, I got a bunch.
Yeah. And like I said, there's plenty of steak up here, so when your plate is empty, come back up. Money.
There's all kinds of different temperatures in there.
That's great. I love it. So I'm going to give you ones to pick from.
If somebody wants it cooked a certain way, let us know. We'll probably dig it out.
Any questions? No? Hope the steak's good.
Yes, for the
They're
right
going to
amount
get
of-
quiet.
For the right amount of money, we all can be single. For a night.
I think I had some gristle in it. That's why I mean, that's good. That's not. It's just hard as a rock. This one's well done.
Like
If
I said,
anybody wants it.
I want to make sure I kind of hit every pallet.
Well, I'm going to put it over into the side here for you so you can kind of like put a couple of, like, you know what I mean? Have like a couple of options on a plate. Fat. Oh, this one, look at that.
See, that's my steak right there.
Man, that's pretty. That is a gorgeous steak.
Hey, heads up, I'm coming your way, Scraps.
He's cutting it faster than we can plate it. This guy's good.
First time for everything.
Oh man, look at that butter.
Just beautiful. How's the steaks, everybody? They good? They good? All right. Okay, so next time you guys come back here, I was told this, Samuel doesn't know it, but his aunt is a proud new owner of a Traeger Pro 22, and she wants to throw down with Samuel right in front of you guys, so we're going to have a throwdown. Did he even hear that? He didn't even hear it. He didn't even hear it.
That's right, I'll make sure he knows about it later.
Okay.
Just that we're taking all the grills away. You're no longer a dealer after that.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim, make sure you try by this too. when we're done serving.
Well, we might be able to give some of these away too.
Well, the hard thing is reheating the steak is going to be.
We take them home and gnaw on them tonight. I'd do it. Or should we take them back to the hotel and gnaw on them with some beer?
We'll take them over to Willie's and see if they'll reheat them.
I've got a couple asking for some that are a little more done.
More done?
What do you think?
Closer to you, yeah, all the way out on that end, somewhere. Jim
We'll
should
get
be.
well done here to them.
Okay.
Wow. Well done.
This is beautiful right here. Okay, let me go ahead and. Yep, this one's well done. Here we go. There's well done.
I'll take 2 of those for that.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
Made to order.
I want it. Will you do me a favor? You got another plate? Brent? I want you to go take these over to Leslie for me.
Hey,
Leslie Woodard back there.
shut up, Jim.
Would you? Would you? Take them to Leslie. Does anybody want some more steak? If you do, come on up. Hey, Samuel. Samuel, you want to make a few more people happy tonight?
Yes.
We got 7 cooked steaks.
7 cooked steaks. Okay.
We
So
can
let's-
put.
I think everyone's done eating too.
Yeah,
so
I'm going to
we
cut
don't-
up one more.
Okay.
And we can do 3 more tickets.
3 more tickets? Okay.
Okay.
What do you want?
Well, let's cut up more of this one here. Yeah. Or. Okay.
Takes a little bit more.
That way they can reheat them there.
That's true. Okay.
Well, I'll cut here. You ready for some more?
Yeah, I'll take a little.
Okay, has everybody got their tickets? Definitely got a surprise for y'all. Ready, sir?
He's cutting up one more, so there's still a lot of red meat. I know you guys have eaten red meat, so. But we're gonna give away. Are we doing like? How are we doing this? Like in 2?
Do two. So 3 tickets, 3 couples.
3 more tickets. So it'll be 6 cooked KC strips. Okay, Dad, pay attention.
I know.
All right, here we go. Ticket number 500898.
Okay, we just put 2 of them and put them over there, and we'll wrap them and send them to
Hopefully
them.
everyone remembers what they won. It's the honor system. We don't remember.
Videotaping.
Do what?
She's thinking about videotaping in Maze too, and I said it'd be
Absolutely.
good because then you can advertise the next class and show.
I want to get Courtney on it.
Randy, oh wow, congratulations.
We got two ready to cook and 2 already cooked.
Yeah. Oh, that's done well. Go chase. Yep. Last but not least, 914. 914, Gerald Haynes, congrats.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'm going to do.
Just come up here when you're done tonight and you can grab them.
I'm going to
okay?
do a
They'll have
quick
them.
ending
Yes.
now, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What?
I don't know if there's anything to reiterate.
I will. I will.
What's up there? Did we bring those? Filling, just
Okay.
reiterate that because we've already filled 3 orders. So.
Okay. All right. On behalf of Crawford Outdoor and Charley's Appliance, I want to thank you guys all for coming out. This concludes our class. If you have any questions, come on up. If you won your different meats tonight, before you leave, come on up and we'll send those along with you. But we also will now be open we'll have staff out on the floor. Any questions you have on the grills, on your Traeger grill, any other questions from tonight or any of the new accessories and stuff, like I said, your Black Friday starts tonight for you here since you came in. 10% off on all Traeger spices, sauces, free racks on the can cookers. 10% off does apply to the Amazing Smoke Tubes. And instead of doing 10% off just on the turkey pellets, Samuel decided to give you guys those bags that are normally $30 for $25 even tonight. So you can take home your brine kit and everything for $25. Thank you all so much. You guys are fantastic. Charley, Samuel, thank you. Thank you all.